Isn't it amazing how those who swear allegiance to God, those who swear they're the most religious, have done the most despicable things? That's in my experience. I can't speak for yours, but I think it's human knowledge that religion isn't a very good thing and what it's based for. Now, this is continuing in our spiritual breakthrough, okay? I have a few passages here for you to read. And I think for those who are ready, for those who need more information to help them clarify and summarize, this will be for you, my darlings. So, I must quote, it is not my words. I practice this, but the difference between me and this lovely lady that wrote this book, I have a knowing, it's an inner knowing, it's called claircognizance, and I don't know how I know, I just know. And since I've been here on this planet, everything around me has been clues to clarify that which I came here already knowing. This lady in this book, she breaks all of that down, just like I've broken it down in human behaviour, because I needed to understand why adults were doing what they were doing. I found the human condition extremely interesting. I was curious about all of it, so I was filled with lots of questions. And the lady that wrote this book, like me, she broke down the spiritual journey to how to disconnect, how to release oneself from the custodian. The custodian representing all this fake fuckery that you see here, keeping you here in this mindset that the hierarchy is important, that they should rule, that they should be here, they have a right to, it's their birthright and all of this. Well, it's not. So let's get into it, because after I've read this little passage, I'm going to read you some more, which is going to make more sense to you. Stay with me, my darlings. Okay. Once we forget that we are loved by the infinite creator of all, the one, the source, okay? The all-knowing, all-seeing, all-loving, all-creating entity of love and profound light. I mean, I can feel it already. Just the one, the source, keeps it so simple. We just are. It just is. Okay, so carrying on to what she says. Once we forget that we are loved by the infinite creator of all, we seek refuge in people. And by obtaining things as temporary substitutes for a sense of self. Over time, we realize that we will never obtain enough to sustain our wants. So we begin to drain each other by means of attachment and attention seeking. This is our way of getting approval through the game. A game of manipulation, learnt behaviours developed during childhood throughout controlled dramas. Okay? All dramas derive from a need to get something not provided, or developed during our early years. At this time, we are most impressionable. Humanity lacks humility and integrity as a result, and lacks integrity as a result. Okay, so here we go. This is the trap that you're in, okay? So you keep going round in circles, all right? The idea is to remember that you're playing in a much bigger playground, that this little corner that they blocked you off in isn't it. It's not it. So let's get to one of the other paragraphs that I think you're going to understand very much. Here we go. The custodian and Lord God. See, Lord God, what she says in here is that you need to go and research and read up on that, because Lord is actually a way of, again, trickery. When you say Lord God, you're actually praising the 1%, okay, that think they are the gods. You are not praising the one source, okay? You're being misled. So you're praying to God. So when you're actually praying to what you think is Yahshua, the source, the oneness, you're actually not, okay? Your prayers and your affirmations are falling on emptiness. It's not there, okay? You're being lied to. So the Lord God, stop saying that, okay? So the custodian and Lord God don't actually have their own energy. Listen to what I'm saying here. Listen to what she says. It needs to use ours to exist. The biggest deception is the constructive belief that material wealth equals and amounts to self-worth. Thus, in order to earn the right to feel valued, worthy, powerful, or have some semblance of power, and be respected by others on this planet, your physical attributes along with how much money and things you have massed up, must become of paramount importance. So what she's saying, let me say that again because I'm a bit tongue-tied. Right, thus, in order to earn the right to feel valued, worthy, powerful, or have some semblance of power, and be respected by others on this planet, your physical attributes, along with how much money and things you have massed, must become a paramount of importance. These are all human perceived facts and ideals, facets and ideals, programmed into you that became part of your belief system. Your amount of monetary wealth here is a belief that you have adopted to determine the totality of your worth. See, the totality of your worth. No, you can't put a price on your soul. You're a soul being. No, okay? So, however, it is an untruth, an attachment, a trick, and a distraction of the custodian. Because the real true currency is your energy, life force. You constantly give it away by paying attention, or rather paying with your attention. Attention equals energy. The custodian and the infinite creator of all are the same energy, just as opposite polarities, in the sense that the custodian is not separate, just devoid. The voice outside of the self, projecting negative thoughts, forms into your awareness that when listed to become your reality and part of your belief system. It's a job. Its job is to direct you away from your essence, energy, life force, the infinite creator of all. You, your creator within. You are the creator within, your spirit. However, because you have been imbued with infinite creative energy, albeit hidden, you will always be unconsciously pulled towards home because you do not truly belong here. Okay, so when I'm talking about that feel that, yes, you're doing everything here, you're interacting, you're communicating, you're doing the dogmatic family narrative, you're doing what society tells you is bringing life into your soul. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. Okay, so they've manipulated everything, telling you that this playground is the biggest and the best that you're ever going to get, and that there's nothing else and that there is no more. Well, that's lies. And the reason why they want you, all right, my darling, the reason why they want you to look outwards is because you won't find it outwards. You'll find it inwards. Okay, and if you suddenly realise that you're this instead of this, they can no longer feed off you, use you. It's over. Can you see? It's over. They're more frightened than you will ever be, my sweethearts. Can you understand that? A bully is always the most fearful. That's why they shout the loudest. That's why they give it all the big one, because they hope that people will be scared just by the perception that they're given. The perception is an illusion, my sweethearts. So, my darlings, I hope this has helped. Read it again if you feel you need to. And like I said, my darlings, get the book. Two Fuckers Playing Chess with You as the pawn, or using us as the pawn. Because it would be true. And on that note, my darlings, I've got to go do something about my hay fever. It's awful. So I hope this has helped. And we're going to read more passages from this book. And some of it is going to make a lot of sense to a lot of you. And this book will help you make those steps. I don't find it weird that religious people do some of the most despicable things, because when you look at religion, it's in conflict with itself. If you look at religion, it's nonsensical. And that's why people can't fly straight. When you're searching, as Yahshua wanted you to do, there's no lying in that. And on that note, my darlings, have a beautiful day. And as always, Jah love. And remember, the Most High, the all-seeing, the all-knowing, thinks the world of you. And there it is.